Oh my God, it's Watch the First. Holy shit, my bubble's about to burst. What's that? It's not the thirst. The last episode is always cursed. So watch the first.
Marvel's M.O.D.O.K is a condom on the horse penis that is my mind.
I think I might know what Ryan thinks of this show now. M.O.D.O.K was Robot Chicken's chance at a half-hour show.
Yes, Marvel's M.O.D.O.K. Looking at his head made me make sure my uterus did not fall out.
We've all been there. Hey, everybody.
Head.
Welcome to Fallingtower's Watch the First podcast in which we watch the first episode of a series so that you don't have to. If you want us to review something, just say WTF, friends, or WTF, Star Trek. That stands for Watch the First. With us, as always, he was born a pelican, but he feels like a seagull. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg.
Sister Seagull. Yep. Hi.
Roz Stanley has nothing to do with birds, but she's very funny. She's a great actress, and she's got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Hi, Roz.
Hi. Hi.
So today we're doing a review of Marvel's M.O.D.O.K, M.O.D.O.K, episode 1, entitled If This Be M.O.D.O.K, and it is on Hulu. Who knew? How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. We should also tell people, though, as in addition to telling us what to watch in the comments below, make sure to just click that thumbs up like button, please. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, please.
Roz, you were just texting somebody. That was pantomiming for text, not for thumbs up. You were going like this.
No, I was doing
this
thumbs
is
up,
pantomime
but I did
for text your friends about this show.
This is pantomime
this is text.
Let's thumb wrestle.
Tetris. This is Tetris or
Let's thumb wrestle.
Metroid.
This is how you thumb wrestle yourself.
Nobody's gonna win there. So
exactly.
Anyway, Michael remembered the thing that is the most important, and that's why he remembers it, and I forget it.
Yeah.
Everybody, please, literally the best way you can support us is by hitting the like, hitting the subscribe and the notification bell, sharing it with your friends. It's like virtual gold, honestly, and we want to be rich. So please do that. We really appreciate it. And that really helps Roz a lot too.
Yeah, it helps me become a better person.
Okay, so on to my favorite part of the show. People are like, but I thought kissing ass was your favorite part. No, my favorite part is the predictions.
That's a second favorite part.
So Michael and I have known each other for over a score of years, or is a score automatically a year, a measurement of years?
I think a score is like 20 years or something.
Yeah, so it's already a measurement of years, so you don't have to say a score years, you just say a score. Okay, so we've known each other for over a score, and we can pretty much predict what the other person thought of this show and or episode. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Everybody at home, make your predictions. Do you think I liked it? Do you think Michael liked it? Do you think Roz liked it? Without further ado, Michael, the guy that does the voice for M.O.D.O.K is Patton Oswalt, and I feel like I've heard you say that you like him, and if you haven't said that, it seems like something you would say. Also, but I don't think you're much of a robot chicken kind of guy. And this was like a robot chicken show by Seth Green, I believe, kind of thing. Lots of humor in it. I'm going to say that you did like it because you like Patton Oswalt. No, you did. It's like Enchantment in the war thing. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. That's how you feel about it. And Roz, yeah. And Roz, I think that we're going to spend 45 minutes with you going, I just didn't get it. I didn't, you know, I think that's what it's going to be.
So Ryan thinks that Roz is just an idiot. Okay.
That's exactly what that sounded like. I was
Oh.
like, you're pretty, but you don't get this.
No, it was like a Kristen Wiig throwback. She had a character, I think it was Kristen Wiig, that would go, I just didn't get it. By the way, Michael, that was not a giveaway as to how I felt about it. It was just a direct quote from the episode.
Oh, okay.
M.O.D.O.K said that exact quote. And I was like, oh, that's good. I should write that down. Anyway.
Ah, okay. Well, then I didn't know that. So then, with that in mind, I will guess with my mind that neither of you liked this show.
Who didn't like it more?
I would say Ryan didn't like it more because he hates everything usually. So,
wow, Roz, your thoughts?
I'm gonna guess with my heart that I think Michael liked it. I think Michael liked it. That's what my heart says. And then I think, oh, my brain, because you're more of a cerebral person, Ryan, I think you did not like it.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
Okay, so your heart says
thoughts and feels.
Your heart says Michael liked it. Your brain says Ryan didn't like it. But did you put on deodorant before this Zoom?
I put on deodorant this morning, not before this Zoom. Sorry, guys. Oh, but I'm still going strong.
Everybody at home, Roz did like a tweet or a post one day right after our show that said, am I the only one that puts deodorant on before Zoom things? And that was funny.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So
know.
everybody's annoyed by now because we're talking about armpits and stuff, and they want to know, what is M.O.D.O.K about anyway? And Michael's going to tell us.
I'll tell you right now. M.O.D.O.K centers around an egomaniacal supervillain with a really big head and a really little body who struggles to maintain control of an evil organization and his demanding family. In this episode, supervillain M.O.D.O.K is forced to sell AIM, which doesn't actually stand for AOL Instant Messenger, to the tech company Grumble. As he struggles to regain control of AIM, he risks losing something even more important, his family.
Is that how you remember it, Roz?
That's not entirely how I remember it, but like I'm on the same page.
Okay. So next, this is actually Roz. Another thing she told us one time recently, she said that this was her least favorite part of the show, which makes us like it even more. It's what we expected versus what we got, where we compare and contrast what we expected versus what we actually got. It's like a Tinder date, right? So before we actually watched it, Michael, what did you think before you even laid eyes on it the first time?
Well, before I had watched the episode the first time, I did see a trailer for it on Hulu, which is where I had first heard about it. And then later Ryan's like, hey, somebody told me about this show we should probably watch. And I was like, all right, yeah, I've seen this trailer. Looks pretty good. I was like, yeah, Patton Oswalt. I like him. He's a guy that I like. I saw some other good names attached to it. Did
you actually say that to me in our conversation?
Maybe.
You probably did, and I already forgot.
Sounds like something I would say. But I saw Melissa Fumero, who is on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's a show that I like. I saw John Hamm's name. I saw Ben Schwartz, who plays what was his name in Parks and Rec? The worst. Yeah, he's like Tom Haverford's douchey best friend. God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name now. Yeah, so I saw some good talent attached to it. So I was like, oh man, I'm pretty excited for this show.
All right.
Cool.
Now, Roz, before you watched this show, whether you had heard anything or not, what did
John Ralphio, that's his name. I'm sorry, I had to look it up. John Ralphio Saperstein.
Nice.
as the character he plays on Parks and Recreation.
That's cool. So Ralph Macchio.
Oh.
Roz, what did you expect before you watched the show?
So I don't know. When you said M.O.D.O.K, I didn't know what that was because I'm not hip with the Marvel and DC and all that stuff. I don't know much about it. So I thought it was like some like sci-fi thing. And I was like, okay, here we go. However, I was very like pleasantly surprised. I expected it to be some like slow.
Whoa.
What?
We're not to the part of what did you get yet.
You said what did you get? And you said what did you expect and what did you get?
Right. And I'm very sorry for the confusion. We go around the table and talk about what we expected, and then we go around and talk about what we got.
That's what I expected.
I expected didn't understand that.
That was my fault.
It's okay. Communication. So I expected it to be a slow sci-fi situation. That's what I expected. I expected to maybe fall asleep, not enjoy it. That was where I was.
Wow. I can't wait to what we got to find out if you did fall asleep. Now, like, we should just let her keep going. So I'll tell you what I expected. There was somebody that I spoke to on the phone, to whom I spoke on the phone, you English nerds out there, like Michael. And I'm not going to name this guy's name because he's been a guest on the show and he wants to be sure not to say anything bad about shows too much. And what he said to me was, he says, hey, have you heard of that new show, Marvel show M.O.D.O.K? And I said, no. He's like, I was like, what is it? He's like, I could only get 4 minutes and 39 seconds into it before I turned it off. And I said, oh, what's the show? He's like, a show I can only watch 4 minutes and 39 seconds of. So what I did,
giving away who it is though.
No, I only to you, because you get what I'm doing here. But anyway, so that night I was like, oh, well, let me just put it on and watch it to see how bad it is while I'm brushing my tooth. And so anyway, that's what I expected before I ever watched it. And then I ended up watching it again for this a second time, and stay tuned to find out what I thought of it. Michael, what did you actually get?
What I got, I'll say this before I tell you what I got also, is that I am not the biggest person. I'm not the biggest nerd for Marvel stuff. I like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I have never read many. I read a lot of the Ghost Rider comics when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I read some Wolverine comics, but I really am not like one person who has read a bunch of the comics, and I had never heard of M.O.D.O.K before. I mean, I did some research for this show, and yeah, he's a super villain in the Marvel universe. But I didn't really know what to expect as far as that goes, because I had no frame of reference for who this M.O.D.O.K character was. And I like I mentioned before, I liked all these names that were attached to it. But what I got a pretty weak show with bad jokes, with puppets and dumb jokes that were stupid. And, I mean, I like dumb jokes, but these jokes were just idiotic. I mean, like they just weren't funny. These dumb jokes that they were making just weren't funny to me.
I can't tell if Roz is hurt by this or if she just found her Marvel soulmate, but she's a mess right now.
Yeah, I'm a mess, man.
What did you get, Roz, by the way?
So being one that is not nerdy by nature, I didn't know much about Marvel as well. As I said before, so I did a little bit of research too, and I was like, well, who is M.O.D.O.K? All that kind of stuff, and I got the name wrong all the time. Modok, Sudoku. I didn't know. I kept thinking the wrong thing. Anyway, I loved the hell out of this show. I thought that there were like great quips. I thought it was simple. I thought the storyline just kept going, 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 going. I loved the hell out of it. And I thought parts of it were inappropriate and I loved it.
Wow, you guys. My mind is blown.
I know, yeah, especially with your prediction earlier. Golly.
I know, way off, way off. Well, I'll tell you what I got both times. The first time.
How many minutes did you watch the first time?
I watched all the way. That's the thing. I had it on. I didn't really, I like, sometimes I'll put something on while I'm like brushing my teeth and putting stuff away at the end of the night. It was 20 minutes. So I was only kind of half watching and I kind of half had it on. I was trying to see exactly what joke made our friend go, fuck this, I'm turning this off. But I couldn't figure out exactly what it was. I think it was when the daughter came in and she had a big head too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so what I got, that first time I was like, yeah, it's whatever. It's mediocre. It's claymation. It's not really a thing. And then the second time, by the way, in between those two times, shout out to our friend Anne-Marie Seagull, who actually messaged me about it coincidentally saying we should do this because she's like, it's so good. She's like, I thought it was going to be bad, but she's like, I can't believe I'm crying during the second episode. This second episode has made me a mess and I'm crying and I was like, oh, this is insane. Anyway, then I watched it a second time for this today. And what I got was, can't believe I'm going to say this, Michael, but I got some clever humor in there.
Yeah, you did.
But it definitely helped that the bar was set low the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it more intently, and all those throwaway lines make a show for me oftentimes. That's where the funny gems are, like with Mr. Mayor and with other shows like that. These little throwaway things, and there are a lot of little throwaway, nuanced quips that I thought were pretty funny. That's where I landed with it. But the story itself,
Well, I thought it started off strong, like when he was a kid and his mom said like something about his womb wrecking head.
See, that was
yes,
right.
I love that.
I love womb
I thought
wrecking.
that was probably the funniest joke in the whole thing for me. It's just that one barely noticeable line where she's like, "Oh, you mean your womb wrecking head" or something like that. And then that little banter that he had with Iron Man Iron Man's like watching the Great British Baking Show. He was like, "Oh, Mary Berry, that pie crust," and he's like, "Wait a minute, are you binge watching the Great British Baking Show in your helmet right now?" And he's like, "No, just like two episodes, 3 at most."
Yeah.
So that was kind of a fun thing, but I mean, for me, that seemed like that would have been a great like Robot Chicken scene, and then you move on to the next scene.
Did you like Robot Chicken? Were you a Robot Chicken fan?
I did.
Okay.
I did like Robot Chicken because it's these short little scenes with like puppets, these kind of like action figure puppets, and then they make their mouths speak somehow or something. So yeah, I mean, I like Robot Chicken, but it's these short little scenes that are easily digestible. But 30 minutes of it, I think, was too much for me.
Real quick, since you mentioned it, I had a good friend named Shannon something or other that stayed in the apartment next door to mine when I was living in Venice, and he did the mouths for Robot Chicken. And it was funny because he's like, "Hey, I got a job. I'm working for some show called Robot Chicken," before Robot Chicken started. And I was like, "Oh, what do you do?" He's like, "Oh, it's like a claymation thing, and I just do the mouths and stuff." And I remember thinking, good luck with that. I don't think that. And then it went like 15 years or whatever it was, and it was great. So that was really cool.
I
Shout
wonder
out
if you
to
worked
him.
on this as well.
Maybe. I don't think so. I didn't see his name in the credits. But yeah, he definitely did Robot Chicken, and I did watch it the very first episode when it came out for him, just to watch that mouth move. Speaking of watching mouths move, Roz, did you said you liked the womb wrecking?
Yes, I did. I love that his mom said that, but I also just love the other little quips that were in there and the characters that were in there. My favorite part was whenever M.O.D.O.K was inside his wife, like inside her head,
Ew.
not I
Oh.
guess inside the usual way. But he was inside her head
Roz.
because I kept seeing like the rule of threes happening. Like it would always be like 1, 2, and 3. They'd always have that a lot in this. Sometimes they did 4, but it was funny because he was like, "Oh, they've been in my house. They watched my kids sleep. They had sex with me. Who is this person?" Like he didn't know who it was. And then it was his wife. I like it. Reminded me of Celebrity Deathmatch instead. I haven't seen Robot Chicken, so I don't know the comparison there, but it reminded me of Celebrity Deathmatch.
Feels like it's the same thing. I wonder if it's like the same.
It probably is.
For everybody at home that may not know what the rule of 3 is, Roz, can you fill us in?
Yeah, you say something 3 times and people laugh.
We laughed at only once this time, boy.
Yeah, you just like, it's just that repetition of like going once, going twice, a third time, and people laugh. Like your listicle or list of like 3 things, or doing something a third time, opening the door, and the third time there's that thing that makes you laugh, like that kind of thing.
I can explain it better. The first 2 beats create a pattern, the third beat breaks the pattern, and that creates laughter.
See, Roz?
Yes.
See.
There we go. Okay, fine. I think that's a good cerebral way to put it. I like it.
Sorry, I wasn't speaking from my heart that time. So.
Speaking of speaking from the heart, let's get into, as Michael knows, it's pretty much my favorite question that I always like to ask. Sometimes it's forced, other times it fits like a glove. Who was your favorite character on M.O.D.O.K, the episode that we watched, which is the first one? Michael, who is your favorite? If
this be M.O.D.O.K, I guess my favorite character would have to be, it's a split for me between Iron Man, who is voiced by John Hamm, and Austin Vandersleet, voiced by Beck Bennett of Saturday Night Live. Just because I love those 2 actors, but Iron Man was funny. I mean, like his banter with M.O.D.O.K was funny, and then the Austin Vandersleet, he was just such a douchebag, and like Beck Bennett just did such a great job at playing up the douchiness.
Did Austin Vandersleet remind you of anybody, or like everybody in LA?
Yeah, probably you.
Ooh.
I see. I was worried about that.
You asked.
Well, I was trying to lean you into the joke about like it's like all those hipsters in LA.
Yeah.
But then you.
Well, I mean, he wasn't really an LA guy so much. He was more of like a Silicon Valley tech guy. To me, that's the kind of vibe that I got. So he's kind of like.
Agreed.
Yeah, man. I mean, luckily for me, there's not a lot of those people in my company, but I've seen a lot of those people in corporate life where they're like worried about getting to the top more than anything.
Roz, your thoughts on this question? Who's your favorite?
Okay, so you may not believe this, but I'm wearing yellow because my favorite character wore yellow in the show.
Oh, the armless guy. Armless guy.
His name.
Armless guy.
His name is Gary, short for Garfield, Betty Likes Mondays. I loved him. I just loved like, because I mean, like M.O.D.O.K, wow, M.O.D.O.K shoots off his arm and he's like, "Oh, I thought this coffee was for everybody." I mean, who says that after that? Like, it is okay with his arm like being gone forever, like, and then it gets thrown to that, huge monster that becomes huge after taking the pill. So I liked him. I mean, he had short, quick, good quips that served a purpose, I felt like.
Yeah, voiced by Sam Richardson, who I don't really know any of the stuff that he's done, but I guess he was on Veep. I guess he did one voice in Star Trek Lower Decks.
Hey, we like him.
Vendome.
I think
Yeah, so I don't know.
I think that was a Bolian officer Vendome in
Okay.
Lower Decks in like one of the middle episodes.
I knew you would probably know.
I think, yeah.
Wow.
But Roz, you didn't care for the creature cat rat animal that pees out of its mouth?
No. I mean, I do have to confess, I thought M.O.D.O.K was kind of cute. And if I was a cartoon character, I'd probably bang him or marry him because he's like really, really cute. I thought he was cute. You know, I understand why, what's her face? Jody. I understand why she married him. Yeah. So
he's got a big
I
head.
thought he was actually attractive. Well, that's what it's all about. So, yeah.
Big head, small hands.
You know what they say about guys with big heads?
And small hands?
Yeah,
big hats, right?
Or big chairs.
He's got his own chair.
In M.O.D.O.K's
like
case.
that's permanently attached to him.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'd like to chime in on this favorite character situation.
Okay.
You guys have mentioned already my two favorites, and that's Austin Schmidt or whatever his Vander skis, and Gary, who's short for Garfield, but he likes Mondays. Those are definitely the two. Although honorable mention goes to Ironman. Because Ironman said some pretty funny things, and that was good that they put him at the beginning because, you know, that was probably to keep the fans' attention. It was for people to go right away, whoa, you know, cameo by Iron Man. This is a cool show. And he had the funny lines that, you know, Michael mentioned earlier. So that was definitely a good time. Those were definitely the big winners. And you said Beck Bennett. What an interesting name. You
don't know Beck Bennett?
I guess he's well, he just reminded me of one of your pals, and that name did.
Oh.
No, I didn't know he was on Saturday Night Live. What guy is that?
Yeah. He's the guy named Beck Bennett on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay.
He plays on Saturday Night Live like every douchebag that they ever have on there too. So
okay.
Okay, sorry.
I was hoping there was more to that.
Well, I was like, Ryan, where have you been? Michael just said that.
What? Well, I thought that
you
maybe
just said
he
what
was
you
going to
asked
give
him.
a deep, like a specific character that might ring a bell or something.
Oh, a
like
specific sketch or something. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Okay.
No, there's no bell. There's no cowbell.
Another SNL reference. Very good. Very cool. Now, let's move forward because I also wanted to ask you guys about the humor of this show. Michael, you made reference to the jokes being dumb and weak, but then you also mentioned some that you thought were funny. Roz, you think it's super funny all around, but just what'd you guys think about the humor overall?
I got pretty tired of it pretty quick. Like I said, those first few jokes, I mean, the first joke, the womb wrecking head, is just hilarious. And then the banter with Iron Man was fun. But then just the rest of the jokes, just, I don't know, I just kind of like slowly lost my attention. And by the end, I was just like, oh, God, not another one of these lame attempts at a joke. So maybe if I watched it again, or maybe if I watched the second episode, then I'd be like, oh, okay, now I see what they're doing with this, or okay, it's starting to get funnier now. But really just watching this first episode all the way through, by the end, I was just kind of like, ugh.
But you like jokes.
Yeah, I like funny jokes.
Roz, did you like the show more because of the jokes that were really funny, or because it made you cry, or what was the situation? What do you think about that?
Gosh, it didn't make me cry, but it made me laugh out loud. Like, because I didn't expect some of the quips, because it was actually, I thought the show was so simple that the quips caught me off guard. Like, it's so simple. Literally one thing leads to the next. And what they say, like, they literally just respond to what is being said, I felt like. It was because like they respond to the little monster. They just keep responding to it. Oh, I need your arm. Let me throw it at it. Like, or like when M.O.D.O.K was like, let me.
What is this?
Where
M.O.D.O.K.
M.O.D.O.K. I told you I keep forgetting like how to say it. But M.O.D.O.K was like, "Where's your arm?" And Gary's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my tennis arm back." And he's like, "No," he throws it at the monster. And like they just respond to like what is being said. They're not like responding with something they've already been thinking about. So that's why I think it caught me off guard. Some of the quips, they were unexpected.
Okay, Ryan, what did you think?
I don't know why you'd call that animal a monster. Like,
that's what he calls him. That's what M.O.D.O.K says. Oh, that monster.
well, M.O.D.O.K
See?
is rude. Let's see. In this first episode of M.O.D.O.K,
M.O.D.O.K, Ryan. Come on.
Sudoku. Well, M.O.D.O.K. That guy was so good. Yeah, the humor, yeah. It was, there were definitely some clever quips in there. And I wrote some good ones. No, that one wasn't funny. Oh, did you guys like the super adaptoid?
No, that guy was annoying as hell. The Silver Surfer guy.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Silver Surfer at first.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah, I did write down a few jokes that I thought were funny. Sadly, I can't find them right now.
It looks like there actually was a M.O.D.O.K, mobile organism designed only for genocide.
Oh God!
In the second volume of the Invincible Iron Man. Iron Man dispatches him with ease, dumping him in outer space. On Wikipedia, according to Wikipedia.
Well, it wasn't a joke, but I loved it when Austin Vandersleet put the contract in like that bank teller sucker upper thing, and it went up that little thing, but it had blood all over it because Jody had just stabbed him. Yeah, I thought that was a great moment.
Here was a funny touch, a detail, was when they say, well, I don't know where he goes at night, or nobody knows. And he takes this elevator and he goes up the elevator and he hits a little tennis ball on his head. And that's a tiny little detail that I don't feel like I ever would have thought of. And when there's something new that I'm like, wow, I thought that was clever. It was a tiny detail, and it's something that, you may have missed if you don't pay attention to the details. That's kind of where the humor is for me, is like what makes the show watchable is that it's kind of just easy. It just kind of moves. You don't really have to pay too much attention. But the problem is, if you don't pay too much attention, you actually miss the parts that are really funny. It's not the big jokes or not the big situations. It's those tiny little details.
See, I didn't think that was that funny. I mean,
I thought it was
like,
clever.
it was more like a, oh, okay. It was more like a aha moment than like a laugh out loud moment. Like,
Oh, I certainly didn't laugh out loud. That's true. Not, but clever.
Yeah, you were rolling on the floor, saying aha.
What was your favorite joke, Roz, or funny moment?
I liked it when Austin Vandersleet popped up to M.O.D.O.K's house, and he was like, or come with me, whatever. And one of the yellow shirt guys goes, the toilet's broken again, because of whatever just happened. So I thought that was funny. But the yellow guys, they never say what they are. Like, I know M.O.D.O.K calls them his minions at one time, but other than that, like, they don't have names, like what they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Like, there's no
they are kind of minions, huh? They're like yellow and they only have one eye.
I also liked it when they were like, oh, we've spent so much money on like this, and like what? Bootleg Avengers toys, and M.O.D.O.K's like, everyone loves a Spooderman, or some kids love Spooderman, and I would like to know what Spooderman is.
I think it's a knockoff of Spider-Man.
Oh,
Is it?
Yes.
Well,
Or
just
Superman?
to finish up on that
Well,
toilet
they said
joke,
Avengers. So.
the toilet humor.
Oh,
What I thought was funny about that was that when he says, he's like, I need some ideas. And they came up with one idea and then another idea. And the guy's like, your toilet's broken. He's like, I like the idea. I like that idea. What else you got? Or something like that. He didn't even realize that wasn't an idea to take over the world or whatever. And that makes it
pretty dumb genius.
Well, also during that time, Lou was going around feeling their costumes because he was like, "Oh, I'm getting ready for my like birthday, and I need my wardrobe. Can you mind if I feel?"
Yeah.
Or when M.O.D.O.K says 7 grains is too many grains for one cereal.
Yes.
Come on, Michael. That's a Michael joke that Michael likes.
No.
He's like,
unfortunately, not
doing it.
I like 7 grain things, though, is the thing.
I
was sad when he destroyed that cereal dispenser because I
don't
love
agree
cereal.
That's too many grains, though? Like,
no, you can't have too many grains. You can have up to 13, 15, 19 grains. Why not? More grains, the merrier.
Yeah, but what about 23?
Yes, yeah. But no more than 24, because 24 is the highest number.
Roz, what's the best number for amount of grains in a cereal?
I'd say 1 Cheerios. That's good. Doesn't Cheerios just have 1 grain? Like it's small circle.
Yeah.
I had Cheerios yesterday.
That's all you need.
I had Cheerios yesterday and I loved it. For breakfast, I had Cheerios and half a cookie that Michael Kenyon Rosenberg got me for my birthday. Half of one of the cookies, not that he just got me half a cookie for my, he ate half a cookie and then mailed the other half to me.
Happy half birthday.
Enjoy
this half a cookie for your half birthday.
And my saliva.
Wait, did you eat the cereal and then when you had milk left over, you dipped the half a cookie in the milk?
That was my plan, but I ended up not doing it that way. I ended up just eating the cookie because I think I was doing stuff and things.
Cookies are delicious. You don't always have to dip a cookie. Sometimes they're just good enough just to eat them on their own.
Right. And speaking of on their own, we have to move to the third and final big question that Roz is flipping over paper of her notes. I wanted to ask about the animation style. The style itself, where Michael's smile went, when I mentioned it. How do you feel about that claymation stuff in general and this one in particular?
Well, at first I thought it was going to be just animated. I don't know. I think when I watched the trailer, for some reason in my head, I just thought it was animated. But then when I started watching the episode, I was like, oh, this is Robot Chicken, obviously. And then later I looked it on IMDb and like, okay, there's Seth Green. Actually, I think he was in the credits too. So I was like, okay, so this definitely is Robot Chicken inspired. Yeah, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. I think it doesn't put me off like the Clone Wars animation puts off Ryan. But it's not I wouldn't swoon over it like I would swoon over Delicious Maya's cookie.
Swooner Man. There's Spooder Man, there's Spooger Man, there's Swooner Man. We got them all.
No, there's no Spooger Man.
But maybe though, right?
No.
Booger.
Oh yeah, Spooger. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Booger Man. The Booger Man.
Oh.
And then you get the Boogie Man. So
his twin brother, yeah.
Yeah.
Roz, you weren't put off by the animation style. It seems like you loved it.
Oh, since you said twin, Michael, did you not laugh out whenever M.O.D.O.K was like, "Oh, that's my absolved twin inside me" or something?
No, that's been done before.
Okay, fine.
Have you ever seen the Venture Brothers? That was done on the Venture Brothers, that gag.
No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to watch that. Venture Brothers?
The Venture Brothers, like adventure without the word ad.
Well,
Venture.
Okay.
Roz, we reviewed that one on this show, in case you're wondering. By the way, Roz's first episode with us was episode 5. in which we reviewed The Tiger King. Pretty surprising.
Yes.
That was a fun one.
We did.
But looking really quickly at the Venture Brothers, Michael and I reviewed that one with Darth, because that is Darth Shuey's favorite show ever. And I guess we can give the spoiler that Darth gave his favorite show ever, first episode, a 5. No, sorry. Darth gave it a 5.5. Michael gave it a 5.
This is just the first episode.
And I gave it a 4. Michael and Darth said they would, though, however, watch the second episode. And I said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I did. I said, no, I would not.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, Roz, so go check that out.
But I will say that the episode that we watched, the first episode that was on Hulu or whatever, was like the unaired pilot. So I guess they decided to go with the next episode as their first episode. So
it's kind of like they're the cage.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Star Trek.
So Roz, any thoughts on the animation style? Do you usually watch these claymation kind of things? Did it throw you off at first? You get used to it?
Well, I'm still reeling over what Michael said, unaired pilot. What a play on words. But I liked it. I actually looked it up. I was like, what is this? Because I saw it was animation. So I thought the same thing. I thought it was going to be a cartoon kind of thing. And then I saw it and I was like, this is not a cartoon. So I had to look up and they call them puppets and that kind of stuff and how they do it. I enjoyed it. I liked it this way. I think they can get away with more jokes this way. I thought it was, I like the animation style.
Surprising. See, I'm not a big, that's my first note my first note was love that beautiful Marvel intro. They always have great, nostalgic, awesome intros. Really like it. Really wonderful. Did it even have a song? Not really. It just kind of had a little 7-second score with it. Yeah. And Roz, what song did Mike just do?
The doodly 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 song.
You didn't do the hand.
I don't know what it was. Is that from Pinocchio or something?
M.O.D.O.K.
M.O.D.O.K. Yeah, his head gets bigger as he lies. I don't know what song that's from.
He went
I mean, I don't know what that's from.
That was at the beginning of this thing, but then my second note was, oh dear, it's claymation stuff. And surprisingly, that reticence goes away pretty quickly, because then you're just kind of following the story or the voices or listening to it. And it wasn't too bad, because I would have thought that as soon as I saw that would be enough to just put me off completely, because I'm kind of snooty about that stuff. But you get used to it real quick, and you just kind of you're just kind of listening to the voices. That's the main thing. And sometimes they can do things with that kind of animation style that you can't with others. You can make that ugly cat look even uglier. You can make these two geeks here look kind of geekier, like with their sweaters or whatever looking. I don't know. There's something about it that can actually make some things funnier, and they're obviously pros at it.
I get that.
Okay. Next question.
Well, my next question is, Roz, what would you like to talk about? How about you?
Oh yeah, let's talk about more. Well,
Cats?
Actually, first, cats. Did you say cats?
You said
mirror. Yeah. Well, actually, so I kind of wrote a song again.
All right.
Yeah, it's a little jingle. Do you guys mind? It's like 5 lines. Do you mind if I sing it?
Can you first remind everybody of your first song that you wrote?
So my first song, my first song was for Michael, and it was his name, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. That is my name, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. That is my name, and that's the end. But this one, so this one is called "Watch the First," right?
This might be our theme song.
Yeah, we gotta
tap.
cut out. Okay, we're going to give it a second of silence so that we could clip this out and put it at the beginning of every episode, unless it sucks.
Yeah, it has a curse word in it. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, it's watch the first. Holy shit, my bubble's about to burst. What's that? It's not the thirst. The last episode is always cursed. So watch the first.
It's pretty good, actually.
Freestyle rap stylings
It's really
of Roz
great,
Stanley.
actually. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. So anyway, about me. So I am in this series that's going to be coming out sometime this month.
Girl, chill.
We thought it was going to, yeah, and that's what everyone says to me all the time. So it's coming out this month. I don't know the exact date because the platform might be changing, but it's coming out. It's about life, careers, love, all kinds of stuff that we all are curious about, that whether we know it or not. Robert Michael wrote, directed, and produced it. It stars Miwa, Janine Gaitlin, Dion Niche, Benjamin Keller, Catherine Monroe. We got a great cast, great people. Nice little dramedy, if you will. So be on the lookout for that. And then I recently did this great sketch video with Marianne Phillip and Justin Phillip.
Wait, hang on one second. Everybody that's watching at home, when I said girl chill, it wasn't just a hilarious, clever joke. It's entitled Girl Chill. So watch for that, everybody. Girl Chill. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
Oh yeah,
Roz.
the series is called Girl Chill. And so then I'm just recently did this little sketch video called Tinder in the 80s. So we all know the Tinder app. It's on our smartphones, but in the 80s, they didn't have that. They had magazines that you had to flip through. So that's on YouTube. Marianne Phillip wrote and directed it, and Justin Phillip narrated and shot it. And they're a dream team to work with. We shot it in one day. It's a nice little comedy video. And then
it's
my
very
medium.
funny. Stop moving so quickly. There's so much to discuss, Roz. Michael, have you seen this?
I thought it was very clever, and I thought that Roz especially was very good in it.
Yep. With her reactions, and she was very like, and oh, and okay, like, and she'd do that little thing where she's like, oh, okay, I gotta send a stamp too. Like, it was very good work.
Thank you. Because who has stamps anymore?
And
I mean, back then
those,
you had them. Go ahead.
We're going to have those links in the description box below. So everybody click on that link, and that is just below us, and watch the link, Roz,
and watch
be funny.
The video with your eyes and ears.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Please continue,
and
Roz.
I don't say a word at all in that video, guys.
Yeah.
It's all physical.
Let's
like
get
the 80s.
Physical.
Exactly. Did you hit the right note? That sounded like the right note.
Mostly.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and then so I've been writing a good bit. Last year I started writing articles and such, and I've written some of my own articles, and they're on my Medium that is linked below. I wrote some good articles about Starbucks coffee names that should have been going on during the pandemic, Tinder guys that I met during the pandemic, and I changed all the names, don't worry. And yeah, just lots of fun stuff that's on my Medium. So,
Can you give us one example of a Starbucks flavor that should have happened during the pandemic?
Oh goodness, I wrote it a while ago. I forget. It was something like a caramel macchiato hand sanitizer latte, like something like that, where you put something, like you get that excited about it that you put hand sanitizer in it or something like that. But yeah, it's a play on the pandemic and Starbucks coffee flavors.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Very
felt good.
nice.
Yeah, I liked it. Oh, it's good stuff. So now we're about to move forward into, wait a minute, wait for it. Roz, can you close your tabs in your computer? Your internet's a little bit slow. Maybe you've got a lot of tabs open. And if
No,
not,
I just have my email open.
kill it with fire. Now it is officially time for what Michael endearingly calls the bottom line.
Bottom line.
Just kidding. He calls it the terrible twos, but I call it the bottom line.
Nope,
And Roz,
other way around.
the line bottom. So what we do is, by the way, this is a good time to also remind you, please give us a like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow Roz on all of her goodies, and please make sure to comment in the comments below, the comment section, not just in the live chat, but in the comment section. Tell us what shows you would like us to review. Say WTF Smurfs, or WTF What's Happening Now, or WTF Will and Grace, or WTF Black Lightning, whatever.
Fraggle Rock.
Don't say that, please. Because
Yeah, Ryan Ryan would hate to watch that one. So let's make him watch it.
Could be funny to watch me suffer, I guess, if you're into that kind of stuff. So, and it could be a good show, it could be a bad show, whatever. We'll do it. It should be a good time. Anyway, back to the bottom line, aka the terrible twos. Question number 1 is, for the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of M.O.D.O.K.
M.O.D.O.K.
Yeah, M.O.D.O.K. And the first episode was called, I already forgot. It's called
If This Be M.O.D.O.K.
Perfect. On a scale of 1 to 10. Did I say that wrong? Who cares?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this first episode of Mercutio, Michael?
Burp.
I wish we were watching a show called Mercutio. That would have been probably a lot better show for me. But, let's see. God, man, a plague on both of your houses. But, I guess so. I was gonna rate it pretty low, but then I was like, it started out pretty decent. There's a lot of good voice talent in it. So I still didn't care for it too much, so I'm just gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Ah!
Did I just hear a fairy? Was there a fairy?
No, you heard me.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Speaking of which, Roz, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give your new favorite show?
Guys. Oh gracious, my heart. Talked a lot about my heart during this podcast. I'm going to have to give this show a 9.75 because I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like I said, the simplicity, the quips, the characters, the storyline, everything, how it just kept going, how it surprised me. 9.75, friends.
Wow.
Mike, did you like how it just kept going, as Roz says?
No. I was like, oh, this thing's still going? A plague on both of your houses.
Oh, wait, I want to spotlight this. This is good. Oh, dang, she fixed it.
When I get blurry, yeah, for some reason my camera makes me blurry. Like, I guess when I go off camera, if I move too much.
It makes us want more. We're like, no, bring her back. Bring her back.
Bring her back.
Exactly.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give you what my answer is.
Yes.
Boy, it's such a mixed bag for me. It's such a mixed bag. Not really my type of music. Wait.
That works.
Show.
It works.
Yeah, but there wasn't really, I didn't know. Yeah, okay. Not really my type of show. There were some funny quips. There were others that were less funny to me, but there was nothing that really made me like upset. I don't like the animation. That's definitely not my style, but it didn't bother me as much as I expected to. So all around, overall, 6.
Okay.
Now, for the purposes of this podcast, I'm doing it right this time, Michael. For the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of M.O.D.O.K. This be M.O.D.O.K. Wait, is that what it's called?
If this be
M.O.D.O.K. But now that the podcast is over and we're all free to move about the internet, would you watch the second episode of your own volition, Michael?
Well, I am going to surprise you guys, and I'm going to say no. I guess I'm not as good at subterfuge as Ryan. So.
Oh goodness.
I'm go ahead.
That's
I just entered in all three of our answers. Is there any reason why you would not, or is just
like I said, by the end of this one, I just didn't care for it and give it a 4, which according to Josh Sussman means I did not like it.
Ah, Josh, nice to hear.
By the way, I did my very first TikTok the other day, and it's pretty dumb. It's just basically me going like this, just because I was like, that's a stupid thing to do. And then Josh commented on it. He's like, I gave it a 4 out of 10, which means I didn't like it.
That's very clever. Good job, Josh. Way to bring it all back.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, Roz, Josh said, if you gave something a 4,
he says, I want to make it law.
But
if you give something a 4, you did not like it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the law.
Yep.
Yeah. And we all know what Lawler's Law is, right? Everybody out there that watches LA Clippers basketball, first team to 100 wins. It's the law. That's what Lawler says. Anyway, I'm not a Clippers fan, guys. Don't get too excited. I just know basketball stuff. Roz, would you watch the second episode of Your Own Volition and possibly cry in episode 2?
I don't know if this is the kind of show that's going to make me cry. But I'm going to surprise you guys and say, yes, I am going to watch the second episode.
Surprising.
Yes, I know, shocking, but I feel like my heart needs to watch the second episode.
Why?
Yeah, because I need to know what happens next. I need to hear more funny things.
Sweet. So I guess I'm the tiebreaker, guys. I'm gonna say, no. I wouldn't, if it was on, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's not really like distracting or anything. It's easy to watch. It's not the story isn't too terribly involved or convoluted, which is great. So it can be on and you don't have to stress about it. But I wouldn't, really go out of my way of my own volition to watch it.
All right. Yeah, the nays have it.
Sorry, Roz.
It's okay. I'll just watch it. I'll keep watching. It's fine. You guys can miss out.
Let us know next time you're on our show, if there is a next time after this debacle. And let us know. We should have a follow-up. Next time you're on this show, just be like, by the way, I'm on episode 7 and it's great. And I love it. And you guys are missing out or whatever you may say.
There's no way there's no way we're not having you back because we want to hear more songs. So.
Yes, that's right.
She's bribing us with songs.
Exactly.
Ryan needs a song now. He needs a theme song.
This is not something that can be forced. This has to come organically. But everybody at home, in the comments below, give Roz your song suggestions. Give her your ideas.
Yeah.
Do you want her to do a song about M.O.D.O.K. or about me or about this podcast? Oh, wait, she just did one about this podcast.
Fallingtower.
Ooh, Fallingtower. Good one, Michael. Or just another one about Michael.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or one about herself.
Album.
Or Bridget Fitzgerald.
Yes. I actually saw her yesterday. Cool.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Hi.
But
Josh
Sussman.
So please, in the comments below, make sure you give your Roz Stanley sings songs suggestions, and
Singy song.
Do it. She will do
Yeah,
it.
watch out. You guys don't know what you're asking for.
Great. I think that's about it. Michael, did I remember everything?
Yeah, I think we covered everything that we were meant to cover.
Great. Well, then, this podcast is a condom on the horse penis that is my mind. That really was a line.
I know.
This podcast was a plague on both of your houses.
Okay. This podcast was womb wrecking in the best way.
Well, thank you all very much for joining us, and very special thanks to Roz Stanley for always being funny, always being classy, except when she's not, and always being entertaining and gracious. We really appreciate your time, and we appreciate all of you for your support, and please continue to do so. Share this all over social media for us. Oh, also, by the way, we are dangerously close to a milestone number of likes on Facebook, Fallingtower. So look us up, facebook.com/Fallingtower. We're not going to tell you what that milestone is because it's going to blow your mind. Please help get us over that milestone and give us a like on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And always remember what Mr. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg likes to say.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so we can reach 1 million subscribers. But that's not what I always say. What I always say is don't forget that if you're not registered to be an organ donor, you're a loser. Yeah, so go register to be an organ donor. But then, please don't forget to watch the first of Things